A day dedicated to a murdered man now being observed across the state. Today is Ahmaud Arbery Day in Georgia. It's named after the unarmed black man who was shot and killed 2 years ago today in South Georgia. Tuesday, his killers convicted of federal hate crimes charges. Today, vigils, marches, and other events are happening in his name. Live team coverage now spanning Atlanta and Brunswick begins in South Georgia. CBS 46's Haley Mason's live, where a candlelight vigil is planned for tonight near a mural of Arbery. Haley.
Karen, we are live in downtown Brunswick, where this mural of Ahmaud Arbery stands right behind me on one of the cultural centers here. Today marks 2 years since Ahmaud Arbery was shot and killed. And just at the bottom of this mural, you can see flowers have been placed down by members of the community. This is one of the sites where community members were gathered today for a prayer vigil in his honor. His family, as well as activists with the Transformative Justice Coalition, are planning events all over Brunswick as well as Atlanta. And so in a few hours, they're going to meet here to pray and discuss his memory and these guilty convictions and federal hate crimes charges against his killers. They'll then get in a bus and go over to Satilla Shores, where a mural is still set up at the site where Ahmaud Arbery was killed. They'll offer remarks, and members of the NAACP and attorneys and activists will be speaking in that community this afternoon, rallying around this family and honoring the life of Ahmaud Arbery and the efforts of the people here that helped bring this case to trial. We talked to Ahmaud Arbery's mother after the convictions one-on-one yesterday, and she shares some thoughts on what this day will mean to her.
We lost Ahmaud 2 years ago, and we've got a guilty verdict the day before. Ahmaud is moving, and he's moving in the heavens, and I feel great.
And Miss Wanda Cooper-Jones, that was Ahmaud Arbery's mother, saying this has been a long road, an exhausting road, and very tiring, but this is the verdict that she wanted to have on this day 2 years after her son was murdered. And today she's being surrounded by family, and she is expected to be in Atlanta. That's where I'm going to toss it over to my colleague Zach Summers, live in Atlanta now.
Yeah, Haley, we heard from Ahmaud's mother, Wanda Cooper-Jones, just a few moments ago. She actually broke down as State Representative Sandra Scott read House Resolution 688, which makes today, February 23rd, Ahmaud Arbery Day in the state of Georgia. That resolution notes that Arbery was a compassionate and generous man who left an impact on countless Georgians and Americans. Ms. Cooper-Jones spoke during a ceremony here at the National Center for Civil and Human Rights. The grieving mother turning her pain into purpose. She announced 6 $3,000 scholarships for the Ahmaud Arbery Foundation, and that money will be awarded to young men at Brunswick High School, where Ahmaud attended high school. She said, "When we hear her son's name, we will forever think of change."
Since the loss of Ahmaud, there has been a lot of change for the better. Georgia legislators' repeal of the citizen's arrest law, Georgia's new hate crime law, which was implemented back on June 26 of 2020. When we hear the name of Ahmaud Arbery, we will now hear and think of change. Laws changing is just the beginning. Next, we must change the minds and the perception of black men in this country. My son was killed because someone else's perception of black men, my black son.
And Georgians are asked to pause for 23 seconds today to remember Arbery, say a prayer for his family, and consider making a $23 donation to the Ahmaud Arbery Foundation. There are more events planned today, including a prayer vigil on the Marietta Square at 2 o'clock. We'll have full coverage of all today's events starting at 5. For now, live in downtown Atlanta, Zach Summers, CBS 46 News.
Very emotional. That 23, of course, standing for today's date.